Hey, so if you found this video, I'm guessing you're already thinking about moving to Chattanooga, Tennessee, or at least you got it on your radar. Maybe somebody told you that this place is super affordable to live, or maybe you saw it pop up on some list, or maybe you're just done with wherever you are and this place keeps coming up. Either way, I got you. Hey, but I want to be very upfront with you about something before we even dive into this subject. I'm not here to hype up this place, or I'm not here to sit here and tell you that Chattanooga is some magical, affordable paradise, because honestly, it's not what it was a few years ago. Things have changed, and you deserve to know the real numbers before you pack up a truck and drive down here. So what I'm going to do in this video is walk you through what things actually cost now in 2026, the neighborhoods where your money still goes pretty far, and what's going on with the housing market. And I'm even going to talk about a smaller city nearby that a lot of people end up choosing after they do the real math. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, so here's the thing. When you look at the overall cost of living, Chattanooga is still 10 to 12% below the national average, right? And that sounds great. And that's real. And groceries, utilities, healthcare, gas, those everyday costs are genuinely lower than most cities. And your dollar does stretch further here, but housing has gone through the roof since COVID. And since your housing payment is probably your biggest monthly expense, that changes the whole picture, doesn't it? Think about this. From 2019 to 2025, home values across the entire Chattanooga have gone up about 73%, and that's not a typo, 73%. That puts Chattanooga in the top 10 cities in the entire country for real estate appreciation over that entire stretch. Great if you bought here in 2018 or 2019, not so great if you're showing up right now. So look, it's still cheaper than Atlanta, still cheaper than Nashville, way cheaper than anything on the coast. But the days of moving to Chattanooga and feeling like you found some incredible hidden deal, those days are really gone, and I think it does people disservice when nobody says that out loud. Now, the city's still growing like crazy. A recent University of Tennessee Chattanooga study confirmed that Metro added over 31,000 people between 2020 and 2025, growing at more than double the national rate. And almost all of that is people moving here from other states, not international migration. Regular Americans looking for a better deal than wherever they were coming from. That steady demand is actually part of why the prices haven't dropped much even after the market cooled. All right, let's talk numbers. And I want to be precise here because this really matters for all of you. First, let's talk about the market right now. So for a couple years here, Chattanooga was just insane as a seller's market. Homes were going in a day, sometimes hours, multiple offers, people waiving inspections, paying way over asking price. That's not happening anymore. The market has cooled down pretty significantly. According to Redfin's data, right now homes in Chattanooga are sitting on the market for about 45 days on average before they go under contract. And they're typically selling around 3% below what the seller was asking for. So if you're a buyer coming into this market, that's actually decent news. You got time to look around, you can negotiate, you can ask for closing cost help or request repairs. Things buyers couldn't even dream of a couple of years ago. It's a much more normal market now. Okay. So what does the home actually cost? Inside the city of Chattanooga itself, the median sales price right now is around $353,000. That's as of April 2026. And when you zoom out to all of Hamilton County, which is really where most families end up looking because that's where the suburbs are, the median jumps to about $375,000. So here's what's wild. The national median home price is sitting right now at around $374,000. So Chattanooga is basically at the national average right now. And that's a completely different story than what people were saying in 2020. At a mortgage rate around 6.25%, which is actually better than what we were seeing through most of 2025. And if you're buying a $350,000 home with 10% down, you're looking at roughly $2,100 to $2,200 a month just in principal and interest. Before taxes and insurance, that's real money. Now, rent prices has also gone up, and people are sometimes paying almost the same as a mortgage by renting. Okay, so let's talk neighborhoods, because this is one of those things where the answer really depends on your budget and what matters most to you. You're probably seeing Signal Mountain and Lookout Mountain all over those best places to live in Tennessee list. And look, they've earned those rankings for sure. Gorgeous communities, great schools, really strong sense of community, but they're pricey, and every single day, at least in one of those communities, you're driving up a mountain road to get anywhere. If a budget is a real consideration for you, those aren't where I'll tell you to start looking. Here's where I will actually point people to. And we're gonna start with Hickson. Hickson is north of downtown, up along the Chickamauga Lake, and it is consistently one of those most popular choices for families moving into the area. According to niche.com, it has great schools, also has lake access and a very suburban feel, so it has a lot of shopping and restaurants nearby as well. There's also new construction happening out there too, which means more options if you're buying. Home prices generally run in the $335,000 to $380,000 range, depending on the size and the neighborhood. Just something to keep in mind. The next one I'm going to be talking about is East Ridge. I feel this one is genuinely underrated. It's on the south side of Chattanooga, close to the Georgia line, easy access to the highway, 15 minutes to downtown. The median sales price right now is around $280,000 to $315,000. However, keep in mind that the houses here are smaller and they're older homes, so that reflects on the price. But really, if you wanted to be close to Chattanooga, I think it's still a good choice for first-time home buyers. And even for people working with a tighter budget, it's worth a serious look. And I can't stress this enough, research specific streets and neighborhoods before you commit. The quality really varies quite a bit depending on where you are in that area. So do your research. Now let's talk about Ottawa and Appleton. These are the growth corridors right now. Drive out there on I-75 or Highway 58 and you'll see new subdivisions going up left and right. Ottawa has become really popular with families who want new construction, good schools, and easy access to the Hamilton Place area and Cambridge Square for shopping. Appleton, let's talk a little bit about Appleton. It's a little further out, more land and more rural feel, and it's actually positioned kind of perfectly between Chattanooga and Cleveland, which I'll get to in a minute. Prices out there for new construction area are running in the $412,000 to $450,000 and up. One thing I'll say about these places, and this is just the reality of living here, the further you get from downtown, the more life revolves about your car. So there's not much of a way of public transportation here. This area is just, you're gonna need your car for sure. So just count on that. And another thing to mention is I-75 during morning rush hours heading south. It's real traffic, so factor that into your decision, not just financially, but in terms of your daily life. Okay, so this is the part of the video that I think is actually going to help a lot of people, because Cleveland, Tennessee doesn't really show up on enough people's radar when they're searching for places to live in this area. Cleveland is about 30 minutes northeast of Chattanooga on I-75. It's a straight shot, no mountains, no way route. Just get on the interstate and go. Cleveland is actually in Bradley County, not Hamilton County, and is noticeably more affordable than anything in the Chattanooga metro. The overall cost of living in Cleveland, Tennessee is about 15% below the national average, so that's a couple of points better than Chattanooga in general. And the median home price is about $345,500. Compare that to the Hamilton County's median home price of $403,500, and you can see why people end up there. Cleveland is not a forgotten little town either. You have Whirlpool, Amazon, both have facilities there. Lee University is based there, and it brings the real community anchor. Bradley County schools have a solid reputation. It's a growing city with real jobs and real infrastructure. The trade-off is pretty simple. Cleveland is quieter. If you want good restaurants, live music, the weekend riverfront scene, you're driving to Chattanooga for that. But here's what people who live there will actually tell you, and I was one of them. I used to live in Cleveland. They love that they can go enjoy Chattanooga when they want it and come home to something that just feels a little calmer and a little bit more affordable too. All right, let's talk about income, because it doesn't matter how affordable a city is. If you can't earn a living there, that's a problem, right? The average hourly wage in the Chattanooga Metro is $27.08 according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the national average is $32.66. And let me tell you, these averages are taking into consideration everyone. That means professionals, doctors, lawyers, you name it. So it sounds like a very large average, but most of people in Tennessee do not make that per hour. I just want to make that very clear. A regular job like Walmart or any other place is not near that pay, but that's just an average of the city. If you talk to a local, they'll be like, what? No, we don't make that here. So just take that into consideration. It depends on what job you're looking for or what education you have when you come to Chattanooga and whether you're going to be in those high numbers or not. But still, even though those numbers sound pretty high, they're still lower than the national average. And that's just the truth, and you need to know it going in. Now, if you're moving here and keeping a remote job with a salary from a higher cost of living area, you're honestly in a great spot. Your income doesn't change, your cost goes down, and Tennessee's tax situation works in your favor. So that's probably the best case scenario for relocating here. If you're coming here and need to find local work, the strongest industries here are really healthcare, manufacturing, engineering, and logistics. We have the Volkswagen plant here, which is the only Volkswagen assembly facility in the entire United States, and it's a huge employer and anchors a whole ecosystem of manufacturing suppliers around it. We also have Amazon, McKee Foods. These are all significant employers. And healthcare is massive here. You have Erlanger Healthcare System and Chi Memorial are two of the biggest employers in the whole region. The tech scene also has grown a lot, partly because of something really cool about this city. EPB, which is the local public utility, they built over 600 miles of fiber optic cable and now offers 25 gigabyte internet speeds. This kind of infrastructure has genuinely attracted tech companies and remote workers, and it makes Chattanooga a legitimate, smart choice if you work from home and need fast, reliable internet. That said, I want to be honest about the income math for working families. MIT's living wage calculator says a family of 4 with both adults working needs about $98,000 combined just to cover the basic needs in the Chattanooga area. The local median household income right now is about $61,000 to $64,000. So there's a gap there, and a lot of working families feel that squeeze. And that's something that not a lot of people are talking about. So let's talk about taxes. This one is actually a big deal. Tennessee has 0 state income tax. It's literally in the state constitution. So every dollar you earn, you keep more of it. If you're coming from California, New York, or any of those places that takes a big chunk of your paycheck in state income tax, moving to Tennessee could mean like $4,000 to $8,000 more in your pocket every single year, depending on what you earn, of course. And that's real money. The flip side is that Tennessee's sales tax is higher than most places. We have a sales tax of about 9.75 in most of Chattanooga, which is one of the highest in the country. So you'll feel it at the grocery store and the mall and everywhere. Most people though, if you're earning a decent income, the income tax advantage still wins. So just don't go in blind about the sales tax. It's real. Okay, so I want to lay straight for you. No fluff. Here's what genuinely works in your favor. No state income tax. That's real and it adds up. So Everyday costs like groceries, gas, utilities, and healthcare are 10 to 12% lower than the national average. And if you're buying right now, the market has shifted towards your advantage. You got time, you got inventory, and room to negotiate that buyers didn't have a few years ago. And we didn't talk a lot about the outdoors. The outdoor life here is incredible. Mountains, rivers, hiking, kayaking, and that's my favorite part about Tennessee. And a lot of these places are free. And if you're willing to look at the right suburbs like Hickson, East Ridge, Uruguay, or even in Cleveland, you can still find solid values compared to most major metros. Here's what you need to be real with yourself about. Home prices are up 70+% since 2019. You're not walking into a 2020 deal. That ship has sailed a long time ago. If you're renting, then a family house in a safe neighborhood, you plan around $2,000 to $2,700 a month minimum. If you're buying at the current median with 6.25 rate, your mortgage payment is going to be between $2,100 to $2,300 a month before taxes and insurance. Local wages are below the national average, so if you need a local job, research your specific field before assuming that salary will match what you're making now. Certain parts of Chattanooga proper have higher crime. You have to know your neighborhoods. So not just the city, you need to know what parts of the city are safe. And you're going to need a car. There's basically no way getting around this one. And the 9.75% sales tax hits every single purchase, so account for it in your budget. So, can you afford to live here? Honestly, it depends on what you're bringing to the table. If you got a remote job and you're keeping your current salary, this area still makes a lot of sense financially. If you're in healthcare, manufacturing, engineering, or logistics, there are real opportunities here. And if you're buying in this market right now, the conditions are actually better for you than they were a few years ago. If you're working with a tight budget and counting on local wages to make it work, just be honest with yourself about the numbers, especially on housing. The cost of living advantage here is real, but it's not as dramatic as it used to be, so you need a real plan. And hey, if Chattanooga itself feels like a stretch, don't count out the suburbs. Remember Cleveland, Hickson, East Ridge, Uruguay, Appleton, and seriously look at Cleveland because a lot of people came here with their eyes set on Chattanooga and ended up in Cleveland, Tennessee, and they're really glad they did. Just come in with your eyes open, research the specific neighborhoods that you're considering, not just the city name, and don't let this best places to live article from 2021 set your expectations for 2026. And if you got any questions, call or text me on the number on the screen. I genuinely answer to all the questions. See you in the next one. God bless.